Our verse today is Mark chapter 7, verse 27. And he said to her, "Let the children be fed first, for it is not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs." Jesus was within the region of Tyre and Sidon, the two most important port cities in then Phoenicia in present-day Lebanon. What this means is that Jesus was outside of the Israelite territory. It was there that a Syro-Phoenician woman, that is a Phoenician woman who belonged to the Roman province of Syria, begged him to cast out the demon out of her daughter. The response of Jesus is what we find in our verse. Many people would find this response quite offensive today. Let us understand the context and the meaning of dog in the context. The first part says, "Let the children be fed first." Jesus wants to highlight that he was sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. This idea is included in a parallel story in Matthew's Gospel, if you read Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. Therefore, the Israelites are the children that must be fed first. Meanwhile, Jesus had not completed his mission of feeding the Israelites. Remember, when he sent out his disciples, he said to them that they should go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Read Matthew chapter 10, verse 6. Only after his resurrection did Jesus command his disciples to go out to the whole world. Read Matthew 28, 19 to 20. This idea does not mean that Jesus did not come for the whole world, but that he was to begin from somewhere. Those that God already chose. This idea you find in Acts chapter 3 verse 26 and Romans chapter 1 verse 16. God had chosen Israel to become a beacon and light for the other nations. But why will Jesus then describe the woman and the other nations as dogs? We must go back to the Old Testament to understand that. In the book of Exodus we read, "You shall be consecrated to me. Therefore, you shall not eat any flesh that is torn by beasts in the field. You shall throw it to the dogs." Exodus 22, verse 31. In other words, unholy things were to be given to the dogs. The dogs came to symbolize something evil. Read Psalm 22, verse 16, which says, "For dogs encompass me, a company of evildoers encircles me." Also read Psalm 59, verse 6. The prophet Isaiah compares the bad shepherds to dogs that are silent and have a mighty appetite. Isaiah 56, 10 to 11. And Jeremiah lists dogs among the four kinds of destroyers that God will allow to devour the people of Israel. We know the reference here in Jeremiah is to the other nations, if you read Jeremiah 15, verse 3. St. Paul compares the evildoers to dogs, if you read Philippians chapter 3 verse 2. Also read Revelation 22 verse 15. So dogs in the context refer to those who do not know God or the other nations who have not consecrated themselves to God. That is clearer when Jesus says, "Do not give dogs what is holy," in Matthew 7 verse 6. Again, it is about not giving consecrated things to someone who will not value them or defile them. We can conclude that Jesus was only speaking in a proverbial way to what the people understand dog to mean. It was never to insult the woman. It was the way the Jewish people saw the other nations. The woman would have known the reason why Jesus addressed her that way. Hence, she was not upset, but gave Jesus a superb answer, that even the dogs feed on the crumbs that fall from the master's table. The children were the people of Israel, meant to be fed first before extending the food to the other nations. We too are beneficiaries. We have not been fed by God. We've been given the same food. And so we need to have the same attitude like this woman, the attitude of faith. Lord, do not let us leave the food you have prepared for us to chase after crumbs that do not satisfy. Amen. God bless you. Have a lovely day.